Among Disney's many acquisitions over the years, one of the most notable is the television network ABC, aka the American Broadcasting Company. However, even long before they bought this major network in 1996, Disney already had an association with it. Walt Disney was one of the first movie studio chiefs who saw the potential in this new medium of television back in the 50s as a vehicle for promotion and to expand his entertainment empire. When he was looking for investors in his theme park Disneyland, he contacted ABC and asked if they would be willing to chip in. They agreed, and in exchange, Disney produced a television show for them. Appropriately named Disneyland, Walt hosted the show, and it would often involve behind-the-scenes peeks at the movies in his theme park. The series was a hit for ABC and further cemented Walt Disney as an icon. Among the episodes of Disneyland were ones inspired by the life of Davy Crockett, with Fess Parker playing the famous frontiersman. These were huge ratings hits and led to massive merchandise sales. Disney even took the episodes, combined them into 2 feature films, and released them in theaters. 2 other Disney-produced series, The Mickey Mouse Club and Zorro, premiered on ABC, and they too proved popular. This was a successful partnership, but Disney was then lured away to NBC in 1961, who promised to broadcast his shows in color, something ABC was not capable of doing at the time. ABC would spend the next 20 years working with other companies like Hanna-Barbera, but Disney eventually returned to ABC in 1985 with the Disney Sunday Movie, which ran on the network for 3 years. One of the people responsible for initiating this return to ABC was recently installed Disney CEO Michael Eisner, who fittingly had previously served as Senior Vice President of Programming at ABC in the early 70s. He would continue to foster a relationship between ABC and Disney through the rest of the 80s and into the 90s, with the studio's television unit producing a number of shows for the network. Not all of them were successful, but the ones that hit found a significant following. The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh aired on ABC's Saturday morning block, becoming a hit with child viewers. Over in primetime, Disney produced Dinosaurs, an ambitious sitcom featuring animatronic dinosaurs and originally developed by Jim Henson. The show was a hit upon its premiere in 1991, but it was also expensive. Dinosaurs still ran for 4 seasons, which is nonetheless impressive and remains a favorite 30 years later. There was also Home Improvement, starring comedian Tim Allen. This became one of the most popular shows on American television in the 90s and led to Allen playing many more roles in Disney productions. Home Improvement lasted for 8 seasons on ABC, and even though the network pushed for a 9th and offered Allen and his co-star Patricia Richardson extremely high salaries if they returned, both actors felt it was time to end the show. Another popular Disney-produced sitcom for ABC was Ellen, which premiered in 1994 and starred Ellen DeGeneres. The show even led to DeGeneres getting an attraction at Epcot, which opened 2 years later as Ellen's Energy Adventure. A hit for ABC's Friday night block, TGIF, was Boy Meets World, created by Michael Jacobs. The series successfully showed the young cast growing up through its 7 seasons, and to this day remains one of the most beloved shows to air on that block. Further in the connection between ABC and Disney at this time, quite a few of their sitcoms produced episodes that had the characters going to the Disney theme parks. And this included shows Disney did not even produce, like Full House, Roseanne, and Family Matters. Something I've long found curious is that surprisingly Home Improvement never got an episode where the Taylor family goes to Disneyland or Disney World. Tim Allen starred in Disney movies like Santa Claus and Jungle to Jungle and voiced Buzz Lightyear. Meanwhile, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who played his son, was the voice of young Simba in The Lion King. The jokes would have written themselves, and yet it never happened. In the summer of 1995, Disney announced plans to acquire ABC, with the deal being finalized some months later. In addition to the network itself, Disney acquired the cable channels A&E and the History Channel, and most notably the sports network ESPN. They also got the animation studio DiC, although aside from Inspector Gadget, Disney did not show much enthusiasm for it, and CEO Andy Hayward would buy it back a few years later. One of ABC's in-house series that Disney would get the rights to was the popular family show America's Funniest Home Videos, a show that impressively is still producing new episodes, even though you would think YouTube would have rendered it obsolete. Disney also acquired the acclaimed news magazine show 2020, the Bruce Willis Sybil Shepherd show Moonlighting, and the educational animated short series Schoolhouse Rock. Among the people who found themselves now in the Disney family was the president of ABC, Bob Iger, and let's just say he's stuck around for a while. Disney would of course become very involved in the programming for the network. Shortly before ABC was acquired, the network executives were talking with Jim Jenkins about bringing his animated show Doug to their Saturday morning block. Disney then got into the discussions and bought Jenkins' production company Jumbo Pictures, along with the rights to any future episodes of Doug. Speaking of the Saturday morning block, that's where the Disney influence was the most evident, as they started putting their own shows on there. Animaniacs writer Peter Hastings was hired to give the block a new identity, and he came up with One Saturday Morning, which started airing in 1997. In addition to airing new Disney shows like Pepper Ann and Recess, there were also wraparound segments set in virtual building. One Saturday Morning was a big hit with the target audience, even becoming the highest rated programming block on Saturdays for a while. One non-Disney show they could not push off Saturday mornings was the Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show, which had been airing on ABC since 1985. They had to wait until ABC's contract with Warner Brothers expired in 2000, at which point the Looney Tunes moved to Cartoon Network. One of Mike Eisner's other moves was to bring The Wonderful World of Disney to ABC's Sunday night lineup. In 1997, it premiered with a showing of Toy Story, and throughout its run would air a combination of theatrical Disney movies, new made-for-television films, and even non-Disney movies like Space Jam and The Flintstones. A particular smash was Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring Brandy and Whitney Houston, which saw 60 million people tuning in. The corporate Singy would also see movies and shows on ABC being promoted on Disney videos. Despite there being more Disney shows on the network, the primetime lineup would continue to air series produced by other studios like Spin City, Tharman and Greg, and Whose Line Is It Anyway? ABC would be incorporated into the Disney theme parks as well. In 1997, an attraction named the ABC Sound Studio opened at Disney MGM Studios. Themed around One Saturday Morning, park guests helped add sound effects to the 101 Dalmatians animated series. 2 years later, it was changed to Sounds Dangerous with Drew Carey. The premise involved park guests being invited to an ABC soundstage and helping out with a pilot for a possible detective series. There was also the ABC soap opera Bistro restaurant and Disney's California Adventure, which barely lasted 2 years. And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire got an interactive attraction in multiple parks. Recently, certain groups have announced intentions to boycott Disney because of their movies and shows featuring LGBTQ characters. However, this is hardly new for them. In 1997, Ellen aired the Puppy episode, which had the title character come out as a lesbian. As expected, there were groups that called for boycotts and sponsors pulled out. An ABC affiliate in Alabama even refused to air it. However, Disney and ABC remained supportive of the episode, and there were even Disney execs who told the writers to not tone down the themes and storyline. And for all the huffing and puffing and angry telephone calls from certain people, that did not hurt the show at all, as the Puppy episode scored big ratings and was watched by about 40 million viewers. Both Disney and ABC are still around today, so they themselves know from experience that the go woke, go broke mantra does not hold water. Like the other major US networks, ABC's ranking among the Big Four would go up and down. A major win for the network was the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, hosted by Regis Philbin. The show was enormously popular, often being the most watched series of the week. But then ABC started to rely too much on it to help their ratings and oversaturated Millionaire to the point viewers eventually got tired of it. Entering the 21st century, while ABC had the occasional hit series like According to Jim and Alias, they also dealt with issues like the declining popularity of the TGIF block. One Saturday Morning was changed to ABC Kids in 2002, which was more reliant on reruns of Disney Channel shows than original series created specifically for the block. For a period, ABC was in last place among the major networks, although eventually got a boost in ratings thanks to Lost, Desperate Housewives, and Grey's Anatomy. For years, Disney had used the Touchstone Television label for their primetime network series. However, in 2007, the decision was made to change the name to ABC Studios. Over the last number of years, ABC has tried to navigate an audience that has grown attached to streaming, but the network still has its attention-grabbing shows, quite a few of which are based on Disney-owned properties. Once Upon a Time used familiar Disney characters and placed them in a new environment. The show did well with viewers, lasting for 7 seasons. Series featuring Marvel characters have also aired on ABC. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was set within the Marvel Cinematic Universe and ran for 7 seasons. Then there was Agent Carter, which followed Peggy Carter after the events of Captain America: The First Avenger. The series had its admirers, although ABC did not seem to know what to do with it, and it was cancelled after 2 seasons. Interestingly, Jessica Jones was originally pitched to ABC, but the network passed on the show, with Netflix eventually picking it up, although ABC Studios is still credited. The Muppets were given a chance at a primetime sitcom in 2015, but it dealt with mixed reviews, a showrunner change, and disappointing ratings, and only produced 16 episodes. Looking at ABC currently, the most popular series are the sitcom Abbott Elementary, the Roseanne spin-off The Connors, the medical drama The Good Doctor, the firefighter show Station 19, and the police show The Rookie. And there are, of course, long-running enduring favorites like 2020, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Grey's Anatomy, America's Funniest Home Videos, and The Wonderful World of Disney. Although because of the writer's strike, ABC's primetime schedule for next season will be relying mostly on game shows, competition shows, sports, and reruns of Abbott Elementary. Even with cable and streaming services, including Disney Plus, grabbing viewers' attention, the Mouse House still views ABC as an important part of the company, and they manage to successfully navigate it through the usual bumps in the road any channel goes through. See you next time.